Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to Hard Mods Systems. I'm George, and I'd like to thank you all for stopping by and taking a peek at what we're working on. The first little bit's going to be me working and organizing and cleaning again. Hopefully you will see in that little bit of a sped up montage a few of the things that I have been working on and hope to be working on in the near future. Once we get through that little bit, we'll definitely excited to start working on the first project, something that I really need to get done. And I'll explain more about that when we get to it. So enjoy this action-packed, high suspense montage of a man cleaning his workshop. Well, I hope you got a kick out of watching some of that. I know it's not exciting stuff, watching a guy in his basement, sweeping, vacuuming, moving furniture, boxes, but it's an important part of the process that I'm going through to get set up to be able to produce videos for you guys. Also, you saw that I had a visit from a pair of my supervisors. They like to pop in quite regularly to see what's going on and make sure that I'm working efficiently and safely. You will have lots of visits from my critters. I have 3 cats and a dog. They're a big part of my life, and they don't care if I'm recording something. They're going to do their thing regardless. So I hope you like animals and you don't mind them making the odd appearance. That being said, it's time to just do what this channel is about, to get my butt in gear and work on something that I need to get done. First and foremost, I have to build a proper system for the workshop area to use as my main system for recording. Currently we're running on an older Intel 4790 system. It's in a cheap Segotep case. It's got an RX 580 in it. It's showing its age, but it's doing very well right now. I'm running 3 web cameras on it, and I'm very happy with it, but it's not the best system for this kind of stuff. As I move forward, I know I'm going to need more power to work with the equipment, the video equipment that I'm using. And it's time to move forward and build something that I've been planning on for over a year. Some of the parts I purchased last January, and they've been sitting, waiting patiently for me to get to them. I also purchased a few extra pieces, which I'll show you here shortly, to add to this system, and I hope you get a kick out of it, and let's get to work. First off, this is just a quick top-down view of some of the parts we're going to be working with. The first and most important thing is the ASUS ProArt B550 Creator. It's AMD B550 AM4 processor. The nice thing about this is it's got dual Thunderbolt Type-C ports. It's got dual Intel 2.5 gigabit Ethernet right on the motherboard. M.2s, USB 3.2 Gen 2. It's a very nice board. It's probably more than I need, but it definitely had the little things that I really wanted in this system. Paired with that, we're going to be using the Ryzen 9 5900X processor. It's a 12-core, 24-thread processor. It's going to have more than enough punch to be used as a recording machine, and it should have more than enough punch to do some of the video editing that I have to do. By doing this, it's going to allow me to condense the amount of systems that I'm using right now, and it's a dream to finally streamline some of the setups that I have. The next part is going to be the Corsair RM750X power supply. It's a 750 watt power supply. Originally I was going to go with a 1000 watt Seasonic power supply that I had, but I actually got this bundled with one of the other parts that I purchased recently, and I think the 750 is going to do a really good job for what I need to do. The memory I'm going to be running is a Corsair Vengeance LPX 32 gigabyte kit. It's a 2x16 kit, DDR3600. Nothing flashy, no RGB, and RGB is something that's not really important in this build, because when you see the case that it's going into, you'll understand, but it'll do the job for what we need to do. The boot drive is going to be a Samsung 980 Pro. We're going to go with a 500 gigabyte stick, primarily just for the OS and some of the key pieces of software that I'm going to be needing. As usual, it's a simple boot drive, but I wanted something fairly fast. I want to keep this system as snappy as possible. The first storage drive for this system is going to be the WD Black, Western Digital Black SN750. It's a good M.2. It'll do very well. It's just not quite as quick as the 980 Pro, but it's going to be 1 terabyte, and that'll be enough for most of the video shoots that I do. In the near future, most of the videos that I am going to be recording will be moved over to a server, a storage server, and so high capacity is not super important, but you'll see there's a lot of storage options that I can add to this system down the road if I need to. All these parts are going to be going into the Rosehill RSV L4500U 4U server chassis case. As you can tell, lots of storage mounting points in this. It's probably overkill for what I'm going to be doing here, but it's always nice to have options. These were a really good value. I really like the cases, and very happy with the purchases that I made. That case is going to be going into this Sysrax 12U 35-inch depth portable underdesk 19-inch enclosure. It's a little bit flashy for a small rack, but originally when I purchased this was going to be in a more visible area of the house, and I wanted something that looked a little better than your standard rack. This one's really nice and fits very well underneath my workbench, and I'm very happy with it, and it should work very well. And of course, if you took time to notice in the down view that I gave you, you're going to see that we're going to be running the Intel Arc A770 graphics card. Now, it didn't have a very good launch. Intel really has to work really hard to on their software and their drivers with these cards. But for this system, being that it's being used for recording and for editing, I think it's going to do very well. As well, thanks to Intel's less than wonderful launch, the prices on them have been dropping. And as I said, the power supply that we're using was bundled in with the graphics card pretty much for nothing. So yeah, who can say no to free stuff? Especially when you can use it. So yeah, I jumped on that opportunity, and I thought, why not? Let's take a stab at it. Let's give the Intel a shot and see where it leads. If it doesn't work out, it's something that can be changed down the road easily. Originally, I was going to use an Asus ROG Strix RX 2070 that I've got, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, and I've been curious to see what it would be like to have one of the Intel GPUs. There you go. Those are the parts we're going to be working with to start, and I'm looking forward to sharing this little adventure with you guys. And it's time to bust out the screwdriver and start putting this thing together. With that said, let's get to work.